My definition of a pandemic used to be, if one horse got sick, it felt like they all got sick, and it was an urgent time in the barn. But now this is a whole different time we're living in, and it's a crazy world right now. And hopefully things get better as the pandemic goes along, and we can, lessen the curve and get back to racing as soon as possible. The horses don't know that we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. They're still status quo. They still need to be fed 3 times a day. They still need to be looked after. They're athletes. They still need exercise every day. And if we were to leave them alone for as long as they would, the boredom and everything else would drive them crazy. For staff-wise, we're going to have to keep things the way it is, status quo, and try to, like I say, maintain their fitness levels as best we can and make sure they're looked after. Life's different in the last 48 hours with this pandemic coming out, and the fact that we don't have a schedule, we don't have a routine as much anymore, we don't have the races to kind of plan for. So for us, the biggest thing going forward, I think, is getting a timeline to have an idea of when we can return. And I know that's difficult right now with health officials don't know how quickly this is going to spread and how many people it's going to affect. So now that we're kind of back on a break, a lot of my racehorses just came off of a break. They had a month off, 6 weeks off, and then kind of got trained back, got their fitness levels back to where they should be to race. We're probably going to give them a little bit of a break again. They get a little bit of a rest. They don't know the pandemic's going on, so they still have to be looked after the same way they would any other day. So we're still in here training every day, jogging every day, and making sure these guys are looked after. They made their first starts back for the year last week, and now it'll be just kind of maintenance phase. So try to maintain them, try to keep their cardio up and stuff like that, but at the same time not overtraining, because they don't need to be overtrained right now. You're not racing, you're not expecting them to be at 110%. So it's a little bit of a lighter workout for the racehorses right now. The 3-year-olds, we still have to kind of make sure that they're in tip-top shape, because with all the stake races and stuff coming up, we're not quite sure how things are going to play out with the schedule and what's going to happen. So we have to make sure that they're as ready and as in shape as they can be going forward, because we may get started up and a week or 2 into it, we have to be racing stake races for some good money. And as for the 2-year-olds, their schedule doesn't change. They weren't supposed to race till August 2nd anyway, so with them it's still status quo. We'll still be training 6 2-year-olds, try to build them up so that they're ready for their first stake race come 1st of August. So for me, with us having a shortened schedule and shortened season, I think if the stake schedule does get condensed a little bit more, a lot of my better stake horses are probably just going to race stakes. It might be an overnight here and there to try to figure out some things, but for the most part, we'll probably just keep them, maintain just to stake races, 2-3 races a month. That's kind of what we were planning on doing anyway. So, we may miss a couple overnights here and there, but hopefully with the stake races being condensed and stuff like that, they'll still get the amount of races that they probably would have anyway. So our biggest thing for us right now, like I said, with our associations and everything else, is trying to find a timeline, and they've done a really good job of keeping us informed and also staying up to date with all the CDC's regulations and stuff like that. And I think with them, it's day to day, they're trying to give us as much information as they can, and we're just biding our time.